Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm IWN, and this is your WWE, your actual WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news live stream number 2 for your November the 8th, 2022. Sorry, I forgot to cut my mic on. I knew something was wrong. I knew that's why you guys couldn't hear me. Thank you guys for joining the live chat, man. As you all know, I got yesterday mixed up. I thought yesterday was Tuesday, but I realized that yesterday was Monday. And I accidentally said Tuesday on my WWE AEW Monday afternoon news live stream, number 1, yesterday, twice by mistake. I don't know. I don't know if I was high that day or what. I don't know. I was on something that day. I really was. Just couldn't remember what it was. But anyways, guys, we got a lot of WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news to go over. Very, very important news. That includes news on Nick Jackson, Mia Yim, the AEW Rampage viewership, Chelsea Green, NATALYA, and much more, man. This is very, very serious news. So, if you guys are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button and let's get a lot of likes on this stream minimum. And if you guys missed my WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news live stream number 1, go check it out. Please go give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. You can add me on Snapchat. The links to all my accounts are in the description below. And in case you're wondering what today is, today actually is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, November the 8th, 2022. This is your WWE AEW Tuesday afternoon news. After all, news live stream number 2 for your Tuesday, November the 8th, 2022. So, and like I said, thank you guys for joining. And thank you guys for the overwhelming support. I've been getting a lot of support the last few weeks, and I really appreciate it. Keep on supporting me and my channel in any ways you can. If you can, share my WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news live stream number 2 to all social media platforms so we can get more audience in here. And make sure you also go and check out my AEW Monday afternoon news live stream number 1. Go get that a thumbs up. Share that across social media, all of social media, and be sure you share it to Twitter, Facebook, all social media platforms, man. Very important. Now we're gonna go ahead and get to it, guys, because I'm so ready to go over this interesting WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news that I have for you guys. I have so much; it's not even funny. So we're gonna start with the news on Chelsea Green. So apparently she has unfinished business in WWE, and now I can say, now that my mic is on, I can actually talk now. You guys can actually hear me now, I'm sure. So Chelsea Green signed with WWE in 2018, competed in NXT until her main roster call-up in 2020. She debuted on the November the 13th edition of SmackDown. However, she sustained a wrist injury during the match, which sidelined her. Green was soon released from her contract in April 2021, owing to budget cuts. And guys, I apologize for having my mic off. I forgot to turn it on, but I'm glad I turned it on almost in time. But following her WWE release, Chelsea Green has been competing on WWE, on the not WWE, but on the independent scene. She's been competing in the independent scene, particularly in Impact Wrestling. Nobody gives a shit about Impact. Nobody watches Impact, by the way. And NWA. Recently, rumors started doing the rounds that WWE was actually discussing bringing Chelsea Green back to the company. Very interesting development here. During the interview with WrestleZone, she was asked about signing an exclusive deal with a company. Chelsea Green noted that there could be an opportunity for her in WWE. She also mentioned that she left the company on good terms and has a great relationship with Triple H. It says here, and I quote, I think, that's what she said. She said, I think I wouldn't go to AEW, and that's just a reality for me. It's not going to happen with WWE. I'm really glad that I left on good terms. Although I was sad that I didn't get to fulfill myself creatively as a wrestler. I still had to, I still had great relationship with Triple H. And then she goes on to say, I had a great relationship with Vince. So I am really happy that I'm able to hold my head up high, knowing there's an opportunity for me to possibly go back if they decide it's the time and the place. Time would be different because I went into it the first time. And I was just so doe-eyed and naive, and just thought that I deserved to be listed too and deserved to be heard. Now I realize it's not always like that. It's not always like that. It's not always wrestling. And then she goes on to say that in the last long paragraph that it's just show business. Acting is the same way. You're not going to get everything that you deserve or everything that you work for. And all you can do is just go in with a totally open mind and just let things happen. So if I did get the chance to go back, and if someone contacted me, I would absolutely have that conversation, Green said, end quote. So Green also stated that she had an unfinished business in WWE, considering how her first run in the company went. Now, she also mentioned that she would approach it differently this time around, and while she would like to close that chapter, it's not up to her. And then she goes on to finish by saying, and I quote, I have unfinished business in WWE, period. But I would go into a totally different than I did the last time. And I think that's also the beauty of growing up. And then the last long paragraph again, she says, I have other goals in life now. And at some point I want to start a family. It would be nice to close the WWE chapter with another run or another storyline. But that's not my choice. That's theirs, Green said, end quote. I wouldn't be surprised if they have her debut with Damage Control. I mean, I don't know. Whatever WWE has in store for Chelsea Green, I hope it's a successful one and not a complete failure one. Chelsea Green has a busy schedule ahead of her, so she will compete on this week's episode of nobody, as if anybody even cares to hear the word Impact Wrestling, and will also challenge for the NWA World Women's Championship at NWA Hard Times 3. It will be interesting to see if Chelsea Green will make her way back to WWE in the future. Now, my question to everybody that's watching the stream is, do you want to see Chelsea Green return to the WWE? Let me know in the live chats, please. I would really appreciate it. This question is referred to everybody that's watching the stream, that's watching my WWE AEW Tuesday afternoon news live stream number 2. Now, moving on to the next WWE Tuesday afternoon news. This one is on GABE SAPOLSKY. GABE SAPOLSKY spotted scouting at another indie wrestling show. It says here that GABE SAPOLSKY is a notable name in the world of professional wrestling. He has held many key positions across various promotions over his career. He was the founder of Evolve and co-founder of Ring of Honor. Currently, Sapolsky is signed to WWE, where he works as a consultant who has been helping WWE scouting for new talent. According to Fightful Select, Gable Sapolsky was recently spotted at a prestige wrestling show in October. Could be that he was there to scout the talent performing at the show before reporting back to WWE. It says here, and I quote, Fightful has learned that Gabe was at a recent prestige wrestling show, specifically in October. Sapolsky has been helping scout talent for WWE via Fightful. End quote. So that came from Fightful. That's what Fightful had to say about that. But Prestige Wrestling boasts an impressive roster of athletes, so it would be interesting to see if anyone caught his eye during his scouting trip. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if anyone from that promotion debuts in WWE in the near future. Do you guys think that WWE will sign anyone from Prestige Wrestling? Sound off in the live chats, please. In the YouTube live chats or in the Restream live chats, it doesn't matter. All your comments will pop up on both. Either way. Now, the next WWE Tuesday afternoon news we have is on. Let me see. Let me go back here. So I think I might there we go. So this one's on Naomi, guys. And this is another sign that either Naomi or Sasha Banks is coming back. I think it's Sasha Banks and not Naomi, because clearly the 5-on-5 Survivor Series women's war game match is almost set. It's basically built for Survivor Series war games. So you got Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair on the babyface side. And on the heel side, you have Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Nikki Cross. So I think the fifth, it's safe to say the fifth team member is going to be Sasha Banks. The fourth team member, the fourth team member is going to be Candice LeRae, in my own opinion. And the fifth team member is going to be Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is rumored to return to WWE soon from injury. So wouldn't be surprised. And watch me be right. I'm going to be right. You guys know I'm going to be right, man. It says here that Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out in the middle of Raw, and that didn't sit well with Vince McMahon. They were subsequently suspended for what they did, and now fans are waiting to see what happens next. They did not deserve to get suspended. They did the right thing. I mean, they walked out because of Vince, Bruce, and Johnny Laurinaitis' stupid creative direction and creative ways and creative ideas and their terrible political agendas. Sasha Banks and Naomi knew what Vince and Bruce were really up to. That's why they walked out. Naomi is truly Banks' best friend, which is why she also reacted to Banks' most recent post. Banks and Naomi seemingly confirmed their WWE exit after changing their social media. Fans will then wonder whether they were leaving the company and possibly joining AEW. No, they weren't going to leave there. They were leaving the company. They were staying away from WWE until Vince stepped down as his active duty chairman, until Vince retires, and until Bruce gets fired. You can bet when Sasha Banks comes back, I'm willing to bet Bruce right there and then Bruce is going to get fired. There's no way Sasha Banks is coming back and Bruce is still there. Come on, you kidding me? You really think Sasha Banks wants Bruce there when she comes back? No. Nah. Triple H knows. The sooner Sasha Banks comes back, the sooner Bruce gets fired. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you what I know. Sasha Banks also dropped a very emotional post, and fans wondered what was wrong with her. Naomi took to her Instagram story and reacted to the post, and she sent an inspiring message to Sasha Banks. It says here, and I quote, "Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Mercedes Fernando, you are to fulfill all the dreams you envision." End quote. Sasha Banks and Naomi also reappeared during a WWE Crown Jewel intro package. It remains to be seen whether the Boss and Glow connection is returning to WWE anytime soon or not. I'm going to show you guys a screenshot of Naomi's post on her story. I'm going to show you proof that she actually posted it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up right now. But first, I'm going to change the music here. All right, now I'm going to pull it up. All right, guys, get prepared because I'm about to pull it up for you guys to see. It should be pulling up any minute now. There it is. All right, guys, take a look at this. Take a look at the screenshot of Naomi's post on her Instagram story. There's your proof right there, guys. Courtesy of Ringside News. Can you guys see it? Anybody? And then so there's your proof right there that Naomi posted those comments on her story, replying to Sasha Banks' story that she posted on Instagram. All right. My question to you guys is, are you looking forward to Banks and Naomi returning? Sound off in the live chats. This next Tuesday afternoon news we have is on WWE and Monday Night Raw. So apparently WWE is making big plans for the 30th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. It says here that Monday Night Raw is one of the most successful long-running programs in television history. Well, it wasn't when Vince and Bruce is in charge. It's going to be when Triple H is in charge. Triple H is in charge now, so it's going to be another one of the most successful long-running programs in television history. But it's an achievement no one expected at all. Now, the company is looking to celebrate their big 30th anniversary in style, just like everyone still thinks that Shawn Michaels is in charge of NXT. Huh. Yeah, right. Give me a break. According to WrestleVotes, when Vince McMahon was still running WWE, plans were in motion to celebrate the show in January 2023. Although there were talks to have the show actually broadcast from Manhattan Center. That part was not a lock. It was not a lock prior to McMahon stepping down from the company. It says here, and I quote, "I'm told plans are in motion for the 30th anniversary of Raw show coming up in January, prior to the new leadership taking over, having the show from the Manhattan Center in New York City. What's on the table?" That's what NYC stands for. But I'm unaware if that's the case still. End quote. They already celebrated the 25th anniversary of the show in 2018. Yes, they celebrated that in 2018. The event was actually held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn and Manhattan Center. The show featured appearances from various Hall of Famers and legends from the past. So, Ringside News will continue to provide me and other wrestling YouTube content creators in the community updates when it is available for the 30th anniversary of Raw. Now, it should be a great time to celebrate. I don't know, given all the garbage that we've been getting on Raw the last 2 weeks. Ever since I reviewed Monday Night Raw last month, the week after that, the Monday after that, you can forget about it. The shows were terrible after that week. You know, that week when I reviewed Monday Night Raw, that night when, that day when Elias made his return to WWE, that news went all over social media. I'll never forget it. But, are you guys ready for Monday Night Raw's 30th anniversary? I don't know. Man, I don't know. It depends on how the show's going to be. It depends on whether the show's going to deliver or not. For me, I hope the shows get written and produced right on that day. The shows should get written and produced right every single week. The show shouldn't be absolutely terrible every week, man. You know what I mean? But, anyways, moving on to the next WWE Tuesday afternoon news, guys. This one is on Crown Jewel. So apparently there was an internal WWE MEMO about Crown Jewel event links. I don't know what this is about, but it says here that there has been debate about WWE holding premium live events over in Saudi Arabia for years now. The move might be controversial, but the shows do bring profit and viewing success. 2022's Crown Jewel continues to trend, and WWE noticed that. How strange is that? You guys hear that? It continues to trend. Why is it trending when it's already over? That's weird. That is, according to Sean Rossap behind Fightful's paywall, a memo was sent out from WWE to employees that proclaimed this year's Crown Jewel premium live event as a big success with internal streaming. The event surpassed the most recent premium live event, Clash at the Castle, as the most streamed internal premium live event in the company's history. WWE also taunted the streaming success on Peacock as well. It says here, and I quote, a memo today to WWE executives detailed that Crown Jewel surpassed Clash at the Castle to become the most viewed internal premium live event in company history. Oh, so that explains why it was trending. Well, what do you know? And it continues to say here, in terms of global audience figures, top 5 Saudi events are Crown Jewel 2022, Race Royal Rumble 2018. That was one of the worst Royal Rumbles I've ever fucking watched. Just throwing it out there. Elimination Chamber 2011, Crown Jewel 2011, and Super Showdown 2019. Though they also taunted 7-figure viewership for the show on Peacock in the United States of America, end quote. The main event of this year's Crown Jewel saw Logan Paul challenge WWE Undisputed Universal Champion Reigns for the title. Roman Reigns claimed the title, smashed Logan Paul in a classic for the upstart in Paul that brought mainstream media attention. Logan Paul had one of the best matches of his career, I will say that, but he's not a wrestler. He's a celebrity. What is a celebrity doing on WWE television? That's what I want to know. I don't understand this. It's not making sense. Even though Logan Paul did do good at what he does in the ring, why even have him when you have other young talent on Friday Night SmackDown and Raw? You don't need Logan Paul. WWE doesn't need Brock Lesnar. WWE doesn't even need Ronda Rousey. Like I said, the only reason why WWE needs Ronda Rousey because Shayna Baszler's there, because they're gonna have Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey turn heel on Shayna Baszler, and that gives Shayna Baszler the opportunity to turn babyface on Ronda Rousey. So it's going to turn Ronda Rousey heel on Shayna Baszler. It's going to turn Shayna Baszler face on Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey. Anyways, we'll see what's next with the relationship between the Saudis and WWE for the next premium live event. They can only hope to replicate those big streaming numbers for the company as well. What do you guys think of the latest premium live event? The latest premium live event success from Saudi Arabia WWE show. Let me know in the live chats, please. I really appreciate it. I would really, 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 really appreciate it, man. Now, moving on. Next, we have some news on WWE news on Nick Aldis teasing his WWE joining. He's teasing that he's joining WWE after an NWA exit. So I got some news on Nick Aldis teasing joining WWE after NWA exit. Ouch! I hit my leg. Yes, I did. Something you guys didn't hear that. Nick Aldis had been a prominent feature for the NWA over the past few years and gained a lot of fanfare, if you guys will. He truly loved NWA and even took a pay cut to help the company. However, he's now done, with the NWA and hinted at joining WWE. The former NWA champion had enough of the company. So, you want to know what he got? You want to know what he did? Guess what he did, guys? He even went on Instagram to announce that he has given his notice to the NWA. In fact, check this out, folks. Check this piece of information out. Nick Aldis was suspended after giving notice to NWA. What did he do? I guess we're going to find out. In addition to that, he was also removed from the upcoming NWA Hard Times 3 event. Aldis' contract with the National Wrestling Alliance expires on December 31st, 2022. Fans are already wondering, where he'll go next. One fan in particular took to Twitter saying that they would like to see a feud between Aldis and Karrion Kross in WWE. I wonder what that would be like. I want to see it just because I want to see whether it would deliver or miserably fail. Kross made it clear that he would love to see it happen. Aldis replied, hinting that he might join WWE. If he joins WWE, you can guarantee you Nick Aldis is going to SmackDown. No question about it. He says here, and I quote, "I'm game, me too," end quote. So we have to wait and see whether Nick Aldis will make his way to WWE. He would certainly be a good fit for WWE, especially on Triple H's administration. Especially on the Triple H's rule. Now, moving on, guys, to the next WWE Tuesday afternoon news. It's not on Nick Aldis, because we already went over that. This news is on more NXT stars wrestling on main event tapings before WWE Raw. We got some news on that. And then the next news is going to be on Mia Yim. That's something I want to talk about. So, more NXT stars wrestled on main event tapings for Raw this week. They already taped several matches on their weekly main event show before Raw. Now, the company brought two superstars from NXT to work the long-hour program that airs every Thursday. For last night's main event taping, they already brought two stars from the white and gold brand. Both Wendy Chu and Zion Quinn wrestled during the main event taping. So, spoiler alert, guys. These are the spoiler results, courtesy of PW Insider. Says Ringside News. Says here, and I quote, Wendy Chu pinned Tamina Snuka. Zion Quinn pinned Akira Tozawa. End quote. WWE had already introduced Von Wagner, Duke Hudson, Kiana James, Josh Briggs, Brooks, Jensen, and Fallen Henley to the Raw audience during previous main event tapings. Speaking of Von Wagner, the big man appeared last week on Raw as well. Wagner appeared during Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley's brawl to stop the two stars from destroying each other. Wendy Chu on main event. That's what it says here in the tweet. But anyways, what is y'all's take on this story? Sound off in the comments. And if you ask me, it's safe to say that Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 3 is going to be at the Royal Rumble. In my honest opinion, I don't think Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Let's be honest. Or it may very well just take place at WrestleMania 39. We may get both matches. We may get Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 3 for Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 4 for WrestleMania 39. I wouldn't be surprised if we do. It would be shocked. I would be shocked if we did. All right, moving on to the next news. This one is on Mia Yim. I got some things to say about this. So Mia Yim returned to Monday Night Raw during the Raw episode this week. Mia Yim had a solid gimmick during her time in Triple H's version of NXT, but she never got the chance to take the success she had of the black and yellow brand to the main roster. Now, Yim was released from her contract because Vince McMahon had no plans for her. Rightfully so. She didn't deserve to get released, though. Complete BS right there. So last night, she made her return to WWE. Mia Yim made her surprise return during Raw last night. the person was revealed as the OC's solution to the Rhea Ripley problem. Now, if you ask me, that was a perfect pick. That was a perfect female pick for the OC. Perfect member for the OC, man. Mia Yim arrived to take out Rhea Ripley, attacking the Nightmare with a kendo stick. Mia Yim attacked the Nightmare with a kendo stick, and then Yim and the OC then stood tall inside the ring. Says here, and I quote, that the OC just found their answer for Rhea Ripley. Mia Yim is back. End quote. Mia Yim spent 5 months with Impact Wrestling, but she wrapped up her time with the company after Bound for Glory. It was reported at the time that WWE wanted to bring her back. They finally have even odds against the Judgment Day, so I guess we'll have to wait and see what's next in store for the OC. And Mia Yim, of course. What's y'all's take on this story? Let me know, man. Okay, next news we got is on Shelton Benjamin. Apparently, Shelton Benjamin last wrestled on Raw during the June the 27th, 2022 edition of the Red Brand. The former Intercontinental Champion was part of a Royal Rumble, or Battle Royal, should I say, that was won by Matt Riddle. Last night, Shelton Benjamin made his televised return. See, I told you guys I had a little bit of Monday Night Raw news. I wasn't gonna leave that out. Come on now, I was gonna skip that. Shelton Benjamin made his televised in-ring return last night. The 47-year-old squared off against Austin Theory in singles action. Theory got the win after a quick match. The two were involved in a tense verbal exchange that was caught on the very digital exclusive before Raw last night. Shelton Benjamin confronted Theory while he was bragging about his quote-unquote momentum. Shelton Benjamin teamed up with R-Truth during a previous episode of WWE Main Event. The duo squared off against Von Wagner and Duke Hudson during the show that was taped on October 31st, 2022. What is y'all's take on this story? Sound off in the live chats, please. Now, I think Dr. Mono Billy had a question in the live chat. Pull it up and see what he said. Okay, so Dr. Manu Billy says, who will beat Tribal Chief for the WWE Championship in the future? What's your opinion? Who will beat the Tribal Chief for the WWE Championship in the future? Cody Rhodes. Who will beat Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship? Bray Wyatt. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will be one of the greatest feuds in Monday Night Raw history. And I think Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt will be one of the best feuds in SmackDown history. So that's how I feel about that. But who will beat Tribal Chief for the WWE Championship? Cody Rhodes. And Bray Wyatt will beat Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. So the WWE Championship will be back on Monday Night Raw, and the Universal Championship will be back on SmackDown. That's what I think. That's how I feel about that. So there's your answer, Dr. Manu Billy. Now, moving on to the next news. So there was an impressive Sasha Banks training video surfacing. As a matter of fact, if it's on here, I will show you guys the video if it's here. Now, this news is on Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks has been involved, or should I say, driving in a major way ever since she walked out of WWE during a previous episode of Monday Night Raw. This week Raw was weak. I was going to say that before I gave out the news on Sasha Banks, but I didn't think about it. But the boss recently put up a video on social media that created a lot of buzz. I wonder what that buzz is. I guess we're going to find out. It appears that her in-ring return is closer than many fans are expecting. Recently, a clip of Sasha Banks training with Juventud, or I don't know who that is, Juventud Guerrero. I don't know if I pronounced his name right or not, but she was training with Juventud Guerrero. She was training with one of the Guerreros. So that was posted on Twitter in the clip. The boss can be seen landing a spinning hurricanrana on the legendary cruiserweight. Sasha Banks isn't showing any signs of ring rust during her training session with Guerrero in the clip, which is impressive because she hasn't wrestled a match in over 6 months. Banks and Naomi reappeared during WWE's Then Now Forever Together video package for the Crown Jewel Premium Live event this past Saturday. And that feud, the duo's return, rumors. So this training video is definitely another indication that Sasha Banks is coming back to WWE and joining Damage Control against Asuka, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Candice LeRae, and Becky Lynch, who I think is going to be the fifth and last member. Sasha Banks previously posted a video on her Instagram stories in which she said a date is coming that she's been waiting for the last 6 months. I think that date is going to be before Survivor Series, which I've been saying this for months now. We'll have to wait to see what the boss has next in store for her fans. All right, guys, I'm going to show you this video, this training video of Sasha Banks and Guerrero. Yeah. Whatever. Anyways. Here we go, guys. You ready to pull it up? Let me just make the screen bigger a little bit. This video was seemingly trending all over social media. I'm going to show you guys. Push the chair. Here we go, guys. I'm actually going to mute the music for a bit. All right, here we go, guys. You ready to play the video in 3, 2, 1. Wow. There's your proof. There's your proof right there, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to show it closer. Closer. I'm going to show it one last time, guys. One last time. You can see her a little bit. You can't see her like that. You can't see her as much. You can see her a little bit, though. But that was Sasha Banks looking at the camera. I can tell you with positive results that was Sasha Banks. That was indeed Sasha Banks looking at the camera. And Guerrero on the ground. That was her. Now you guys know. There's your proof right there that she was training with Guerrero. That was the video that was surfacing on Twitter last week. And it's seemingly trending on Twitter again this week. It's seemingly surfacing this week again. So there you have it, guys. There was that video of her training with Guerrero. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Now, my other question to you guys is, are you looking forward to Sasha Banks' return to the company? What is y'all's take on the story? Let me know in the live chats, please. I would really appreciate it. Going on to the next news, guys. This one is on Bobby Lashley. And this news on Bobby Lashley is a sign that Bobby Lashley is going to reunite the Hurt Business together. This news right here is legitimately a sign of a Hurt Business reunion right here. So apparently, Bob Lashley, he claims that he's all about hurting people instead of winning matches after WWE return. That right there, the word hurt, that's a sign of a Hurt Business reunion right there. That's how you know. Bobby Lashley is a former two-time WWE champion and continues to be one of the most dependable stars in the company. However, he hasn't had the best of luck as of late, especially after losing the United States Championship. He caused carnage on Raw this week and has now sent a warning for the WWE locker room. There you go. Another sign of Hurt Business reunion right there. He sent a warning to the locker room. Another sign right there. As seen on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins issued an open challenge for the United States Championship. Mustafa Ali showed up on the Jumptron, or whatever it is, and he said he was going to accept the challenge, but then he was attacked by Bobby Lashley. Lashley came out and decimated Rollins before their match. However, Austin Theory would cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Rollins, which was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen on a Raw episode. But he failed to win the match after some huge interference from Bobby Lashley. Austin Theory, if this isn't enough to tell you that Austin Theory should have been on a winning streak ever since his main roster debut, then something's not right. Something's wrong in your mind. We got a problem, legitimately. If that doesn't tell you that Austin Theory should have been on a winning streak ever since his main roster debut. After his main roster debut, should have been already on a winning streak, man. Should have been already on a winning streak after his main roster win. Should have already been on a winning streak. While speaking to Byron Saxton following Raw in a WWE digital exclusive, Bobby Lashley explained his actions and sent a warning to the entire WWE locker room. This is what he said, and I quote, "I don't care about any of this stuff because at the end of the day, my title was stolen from me," he says. Then he goes on to say, "From now on, until I get it back, I am kick everybody's ass that stands in my way. I couldn't care less. I'm not about winning matches right now. I'm just about hurting people and making people pay for what they did to me. Because when it happened to me, everybody was out there cheering, right?" Then he continues to say, "When Seth came back after Brock attacked him and jumped on me, he came in and took my title from me, and everybody was cool with that. But now that I go out there and do what I have to do in order to be right back on top, now people have a problem with it. You know what? I couldn't care less. I'm going to have fun kicking everybody's tail until I get my title back," end quote. So we'll have to wait and see how Bobby Lashley is booked in the coming weeks. It is evident that he will be performing as a heel going forward. Only time will tell what happens in the wake of his destructive performance on Raw this week. Let y'all's take on what Bobby Lashley said. Let me know. All right, next we have some more news on Mia Yim. Told you guys I was going to have more news on Mia Yim. I wasn't lying. I was never lying when I said I was going to have more news on her. Mia Yim had a solid gimmick during her time in Triple H's version of NXT. But she never got the opportunity to transfer her success in the developmental brand to the main roster. This is because she was part of Retribution, a stable that was dead while the rival. She came back on Raw this week and made it clear she is ready to get her retribution after over a year of free agency. Mia Yim made her surprise return to WWE during Raw this week. Yim was revealed as the OC solution to the Rhea Ripley problem. She took out Rhea Ripley and made her intentions crystal clear. While speaking to Kathy Kelly during a backstage interview, Mia Yim talked about her return to the company. Yim stated that she is ready to get her retribution this time around. Says here, and I quote, "Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be back. It took me a year to try and find myself. But now I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kick some tail and get my retribution. But the boys are waiting on me. So I'll see you later." End quote. The OC versus the Judgment Day certainly proved to be an epic match. Now that Mia Yim has joined the fray, I have to wait to see how their feud will be booked in the coming weeks. Anything is possible in Triple H WWE, especially with Survivor Series coming up on November the 26th. So are you guys happy to see Mia Yim back in WWE? I mean, yeah, know about everybody else. So moving on to the news on NATALYA, she'll be out of action for months after surgery. WWE superstars put their bodies on the line every time they step in the ring. Sometimes things don't go as planned and injuries happen. That is all a part of the game. NATALYA realized that all too well at this point in her career. NATALYA's nose was disclosed, but no bones were broken. A talented team of doctors was able to reset her nose, and now it is centered once again. Ringside News, my only sources in the community, has learned that NATALYA might be out of action for 3 or 4 months. For what it's worth, Queen of Hearts is in great spirits and sees this setback as no biggie. Now, NATALYA is no stranger to injuries or working through them. She wrestled 3 weeks after having no pins or 2 pins put into her ankle last summer. Accidents happen in the ring, and that can never be ignored. Someone like NATALYA has the veteran drive to fulfill her commitments, no matter what it takes. So, Triple H is also reportedly restocking the women's division. By the time NATALYA returns to work, she could have a few new faces to grapple with. Either way, she will take on all challenges as she entertains fans and elevates those she works with in this world. So what's y'all's take on this setback for NATALYA? Sound off in the live chats. Next, we have some news on WWE retiring the 24/7 title after trashing it on Raw. Finally, I don't know why they need 24/7 championship on Monday Night Raw. It's not important. The important titles are the WWE Championship, the Monday Night Raw Tag Team Championships, and the Monday Night Raw Women's Championship. Those are the important titles on Monday Night Raw. Not the 24/7 Championship, not the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. They need to burn both of those titles. There's no need for those titles to be on TV. Really. Dana Brooke defended the WWE 24/7 title on television for the first time in many weeks, as if anybody even cared about it. Her opponent was Nikki Cross, and they wrestled a serious match instead of a committee outing, like the title is accustomed to. Nikki won and immediately discarded the title during Raw. It seems to close the book on this title. I'm glad. Good. WWE absolutely has no use for that title. It shouldn't even be on TV. It should be off of television. They should have already got rid of the 24/7 championship and should have already got rid of the NXT and WWE Women's Tag Team Championships a long time ago. There are no women tag team divisions on either brand. The tag team divisions are non-existent. When Dana Brooke was defeated in the match, the title appeared to be reset. However, Cross was later shown backstage with damage control, and she dumped the title by a trash can. She also missed the trash can, but it appeared as if WWE was abandoning the title. Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE is discarding the title. He said that even though Nikki Cross missed the can, WWE will not miss the opportunity to trash the title. I hope they trash that title and burn it. You need to burn the WWE Women's Tag Team titles too. The only women's titles you should have is the SmackDown and Raw Women's SmackDown Raw Women's titles. That's the only WWE titles they should have. The Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. That is it. It says here, and I quote, she missed the trash can, but it appears that WWE is trashing the title. End quote. That's what they said. That's what Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer Radio said. Title was an updated version of the Attitude Era's Hardcore title. 24/7 title started in 2019 when Vince McMahon decided it was necessary to boost ratings for Monday Night Raw. And how did that work out for him? Didn't work out well for him, did it? Nope. The title was mostly used in comedy skits in which wrestlers, referees, celebrities, and legends could win it at any time, and multiple title switches would frequently occur during the same show. Vince McMahon enjoyed the comic parts, but Triple H may not feel the same way if he gets rid of the title. So, if any more news comes out of this, I will keep an eye on it. Ringside News will let me know about it. So if anybody cares. I don't think anybody cares to know the news about the 24/7 championship. But I gave this news out specifically because I'm glad that they got rid of that title. It shouldn't be on TV, like I said. Because it's not an actual title to me. It's more like a fake title, if you ask me. Going on to the next news. This one is on Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes to the moon. WWE looking at Cameron Grimes for main roster for possible main roster call. He should have been called up to the main roster a long time ago. I mean, if you look at his resume, that's clearly enough to tell you that he should have been there. If Cameron Grimes get called up to the main roster, he should be on Monday Night Raw. That's where he should go, Monday Night Raw. I mean, he's the former North American champion. Isn't he a former NXT champion too? I mean, geez. Normally, normally WWE calls up former NXT North American and NXT champions up to the main roster. And I won't be surprised if they end up calling up Mustache Mountain to the main roster at the end of the year. Mustache Mountain should go to Monday Night Raw. I mean, Monday Night Raw needs more tag team divisions than SmackDown does right now, in my honest opinion. Cameron Grimes is a top hat wearing NXT superstar. However, it appears that conditions are about to shift now, according to speculations. Cameron Grimes might be promoted to the WWE main roster. Should have already been on the main roster. Since making his WWE NXT debut in 2019, Cameron Grimes has been a mainstay on the roster, but his tenure there may be coming to an end. On the most recent episode of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said that there has been discussions regarding promoting him to WWE's main roster. The change is being considered by the company, but it is unclear if it will ever happen or when it may go down. Grimes has flourished in NXT, holding the North American Championship and the $1 Million Championship at various times during his tenure. Most recently, Grimes took part in a plot against Scasm, and Joey Gacy made several attempts to enroll him. That wasn't something he was interested in, though, as Grimes had tried to drive the faction away. The Good Brothers were even pursued by Grimes to be his tag team partners versus Scasm on the October the 18th episode of NXT. Grimes even made a brief backstage visit on WWE Raw during the storyline. However, the six-man tag team bout did not fix their problems, and this week Grimes and Gacy were squared off in a singles play. While WWE may transfer Grimes to Raw or WWE SmackDown, he isn't the only wrestler the company is concentrating, or should I say concentrating on. Put it that way. Yep, he isn't the only wrestler the company is concentrating on. So I sources of Ringside News exclusively reported that WWE is eyeing 5 or 6 NXT superstars for main roster call-ups. The trick is finding out the right place for them. This week's WWE main event taping saw Zion Quinn defeat Akira Tozawa and Wendy Chu defeat Tamina. Meltzer believes that showcased WWE's interest in both of them for the main roster as well. What is y'all's take on it? Let me know. All right. Next, we have some WWE exclusive Tuesday afternoon news on WWE's creative plans for Austin Theory. This is very important. So Raw ended up in surprising fashion. It ended in surprising fashion this week as Austin Theory unsuccessfully cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase for the U.S. title. I wouldn't say surprising fashion, but there is a reason why things went down like that, and it's not bad news for Theory at all. Sources Ringside News was told that there is no heat on Austin Theory at all. Last night's show actually caused excitement from the producers. An interior member of the creative team told us that the producers also felt that Ringside News were, or should I say they were, finally getting Theory in position. Now, Theory is in a program with Seth Rollins, who is quickly becoming Raw's top babyface. Bobby Lashley is also in the mix, and the Almighty has been positioned as the one man who can beat up Brock Lesnar at will. We were assured by a writer, says Ringside News, with first-hand knowledge of the situation, that Theory is better off today than he has been since Vince retired. Last night's episode of Raw might have appeared as a device to write Austin Theory out of any storyline, but that is not the case. It says here, and I quote, "He's not written off, he's right in the middle of it," unquote. Austin Theory is no longer Mr. Money in the Bank, but he was also in a difficult position with the briefcase, especially with Roman Reigns reigning supreme over the entire company. WWE can place Theory in a position where he needs to be. Let us take on this storyline situation for Austin Theory. Let me know. I think this is the last WWE Tuesday afternoon news. I'm not sure. I gotta look on my list here. Yes, that was your last WWE Tuesday afternoon news. So that's gonna do it for that. And now we are gonna go over your AEW Tuesday afternoon news. So the first AEW Tuesday afternoon news we have is on Nick Jackson. So back to the news. Hold on. Before I go over that, back to the news on Mia Yim. You know, Mia Yim returned the money at Raw. And, you know, I was thinking she was going to sign with AEW, but I was wrong. She ended up returning to WWE. I thought she was going to sign AEW because her husband was there. Her husband wrestles in AEW. You know, her husband known as the Limitless, Keith Lee. But I was wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I was incorrect. Not gonna lie to you. But anyways, so we're gonna start your AEW Tuesday afternoon news on Nick Jackson. Back to the news on Nick Jackson anyway. So Nick Jackson made his first public appearance since AEW All Out. Now the Young Bucks have kept a low profile since AEW All Out, where they were actually, along with Kenny Omega, that were involved in a backstage altercation with CM Punk and Ace Steel. This altercation resulted in all parties being stripped of their respective titles and suspended. Since then, the Young Bucks haven't been seen on AEW programming. However, AEW recently teased the Elite's return by showing a video package of the group during AEW Dynamite. That's the first time. That's the first sign that the Elite will be returning to AEW. There was also a second sign that the Elite are on their way back to AEW. Therefore, rumors have been doing rounds regarding the Elite's return to the company. Amidst these rumors, Nick Jackson recently made his first public appearance last night at the Los Angeles Clippers game. What should I say? 2 days ago at the Los Angeles Clippers game, because I think the Los Angeles Clippers game was Sunday, if I'm right. Jackson showed up at the game as the team's guest, considering he's a hometown athlete and he was seen tossing shirts into the crowd. There's still no word from Matt Jackson, as Nick appeared to be alone. So that right there is the second sign that the Elite are on their way back to AEW. This is probably another sign that the Young Bucks may soon find themselves back in AEW television very soon, which I just said right before I read it. Right before I read it, that's what I just said. The Elite have been backstage at AEW Dynamite in recent weeks, and they could be involved in the upcoming Full Gear pay-per-view. What's y'all's take on this story? Let me know. I thought they were going to have a picture of Nick Jackson, but I guess they don't. Never mind. All right. Moving on to the next AEW Tuesday afternoon news. So apparently, the Young Bucks locked down interesting new name for AEW return. That is the third sign that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are on their way back to AEW. Let me go ahead and find that real quick. Okay, it's somewhere here. Oh, there it is. All right. So the Young Bucks are truly incapable of anything when it comes to the business side of the industry. They are also not everyone's cup of tea for a good reason. However, they seem to be planning something very interesting ahead of their expected return. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were suspended for their involvement in the brawl after AEW All Out. As previously reported, the Elite was backstage during AEW Dynamite last month. Had a good time. They were present last week. They were very, very present last week as well. There are signs and evidence of their presence in that company. In fact, the Elite have been teased for their return already, according to recent filings killing the business. The Young Bucks' LLC filed a trademark on the term the Wayward Sons on November 3rd. The trademark filing covers a wide range of areas, including those necessary to lock down a new pro wrestling name. They could also use that on television as part of pro wrestling events and in a merchandising sense. Says and I quote, hats, shirts, socks, bandanas, sweatshirts, hooded sweatshirts, entertainment in the nature of wrestling contents, entertainment services, namely wrestling in habits, and performances by a professional wrestler, entertainer, entertainment services, namely live appearances by a professional wrestler, sports entertainer, entertainment services, namely personal appearances by a professional wrestler, sports entertainment personality, entertainment services, namely televised appearance by a professional wrestling and sports entertainment personality, providing wrestling news and information via a global computer network, providing online interviews featuring a professional wrestling sports entertainment personality in the field of professional wrestling sports entertainment for entertainment purposes, unquote. The Young Bucks are likely to appear at AEW Full Gear on November the 19th. Neither of them are really young anymore, with Nick being 33 and Matt at 37 years old. Perhaps they will reappear as Wayward Sons next time around. So, I have to wait to see how they are booked once they return. You guys want to see the Young Bucks return? Let me know in the live chats, please. I really appreciate it. I want to know your comments and your thoughts on that. All right, next news. Next AEW Tuesday afternoon news we have is on Anna Jay. So apparently Anna Jay says turning heel helped challenge herself. So Anna Jay put in a lot of effort to establish her reputation in All Elite Wrestling. She became one of the rising stars in AEW's women's division after signing with the Pro Wrestling Company. Before settling into the Dark Order, she worked as a solo star for a while. I'm really a fan of Anna Jay and her work. She is really great at what she does in the ring, too. They need to stop booking her in these squash matches where she's doing the same thing over and over again, though. They need to be using her on AEW Dynamite television. That's what they need to be doing. Now, during the highly regarded street fight match last year on the Rampage episode of December 31st, 2021, Anna Jay experienced a turning point in her career. Tay Conti and Anna Jay joined forces to take on Bunny and Penelope Ford. This week on Dynamite, Anna Jay turned heel after entering the ring during Ruby Soho and Tay Conti altercation. During the interview with Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the PWI Women's 150, Anna Jay discussed leaving the Dark Order, joining the Jericho Appreciation Society, and other topics. It says here, and I quote, "Well, I'll start off by saying I'll always love my Dark Order guys. But you know, it's kind of one of those things where I could never turn down an opportunity to work with someone like Chris Jericho. He's someone who's probably the most talented person I know in the wrestling business. So to work with him is really an honor, something I've never thought I'd be able to do. So that would be the main reason I would say, and also, like I said, to be able to tag with Tay Mello again. So I think those are the main reasons. But yeah, Chris Jericho, he's great, and I am so happy that I get to work with him. Oh yeah, I feel I've come into the heel role. I like doing that. I think it's a little fun to play someone, maybe who I'm really not. I don't think I would say I'm like that in real life, so I think it's really fun. It's also something different to do and to challenge myself. So I'm really glad I've been able to do that, just because to change characters is just something. You know, that's maybe not the most easiest, but like I said, it's challenging me, and I've loved every second of it. End quote. That's what Anna Jay said. That's what Anna Jay said during an interview with Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the PWI Women's 150. Now, AEW teased her heel turn last week. Tay Conti confronted Anna after her match while she was backstage and before she proceeded to storm off the stage. It will be interesting to see if her heel turn can split the Dark Order apart. All right. The next AEW Tuesday afternoon news I have is on Adam Heyman Page. I don't know what's going on with that, but apparently Adam Heyman Page leaves Twitter after Elon Musk takeover. I don't know what's going on with him. No, I guess we'll find out why he left Twitter. Adam Heyman Page is the last, or should I say the latest, celebrated to leave Twitter following Elon Musk's exposition. Oh, okay. Guess he left Twitter because of Elon Musk. Or it has something to do with Elon Musk. One of the two. It's only been a couple weeks since Elon Musk purchased Twitter and announced a paid subscription for verified accounts. Ever since his acquisition, numerous athletes deleted their Twitter accounts for fear of what the platform will become. A couple of days ago, Mick Foley deleted his Twitter account, and now it seems like Adam Page followed suit. Page recently tweeted that he's deleting Twitter from his phone and provided other social media links where he can be found. It says here, and I quote, "I am deleting Twitter from my phone. Useful links. IG. http instagram.com/Heyman Page. Heyman Adam Page. So that's what all it says. But although Page didn't explicitly say that he was deleting his Twitter account due to Musk, the timing matches up exactly on the eve of the midterm elections. As of writing this, his Twitter account is still active, but that could be because he may want to give his fans a chance to read his final tweet before he deletes his account. I'll keep you guys up to date on this story. Ringside News will keep me up to date on the story. They'll let me know something. And for the Adam Heyman Page fans and subscribers, or whoever they are, I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on with that. So, next we have news on AEW fans urged to move on from All Out. From the All Out brawl. You guys know what I mean. So the AEW All Out Media Scrum became one of the biggest topics of discussion this year after CM Punk went on a scathing rant on Colt Cabana, Adam Heyman Page, and the Young Bucks. It ended up hurting the reputation of the company, and the after effects are being felt even now as the dust settles. Fans all over are urged to move on so they can get this rocky period in pro wrestling history. CM Punk has been absent from AEW television since the event, as he is actually recovering from surgery. On the other hand, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are expected to return to AEW television very soon while speaking in an interview with PWMania.com. Wrestling legend Al Snow shared his thoughts on the whole Sacco, or whatever. He urged fans to move on from the brawl as things like that happen in the business. This is what he says. If I can, man, what's going on? It says here, and I quote, "Why do you keep picking at the scab? Why do you keep acknowledging it? Why do you not just shift focus? And then now try to focus on the now, because it's all about what you're selling. Instead of continuing to pay attention to it, draw attention to it, forget about it. Move on. Shit happens. You do that in your own life. You literally do it in your own life. You either dwell on something and hold on to it, focus all about it, or you can't do anything to change it. It's happened. What are we going to do? End quote. There is also the belief that Tony Khan and CM Punk exchanged money already, regardless. So have to wait to see whether CM Punk will return to AEW or not. You guys agree with Al Snow? All right. This next AEW Tuesday afternoon news I have is on the AEW Rampage viewership. So AEW continues plugging away with their weekly Rampage program. They presented another live show this week on TNT, but their Friday night time slot got in the way once again. That sounds bad if you ask me. Says at AEW. No, I'm just joking. It actually says here that WrestleNomics reports that 455,000 fans tuned in to watch the November 4th episode of AEW Rampage. The show also drew 8.14 to 18 to 49 demographic. The October 28th episode of AEW Rampage on TNT was watched by 378,000 viewers on average, including about 158,000 aged 18 to 49 for a 0.12 rating. The 1849 demographic. AEW Rampage brought in 480,000 viewers on October 21st. They brought in a 0.13 1849 demographic. The October 7th episode of AEW Rampage brought in 458,000 viewers with a 0.17 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Also, October 7th episode of AEW Rampage brought in 404,000 viewers for their live episode. They also clocked in a 0.13 18 to 49 demographics. September the 30th episode of AEW Rampage brought in overnight average of 472,000 viewers with a 0.16 18 49 demographic. The September the 23rd episode of Rampage Grand Slam brought a 2-hour fast national average of 910K viewers. 213K of those viewers were in the 1849 demographic. September the 16th episode of AEW Rampage brought in 470,000 viewers. They also drew a 0.14 1849 demographic. September the 9th edition of AEW Rampage brought in a fast, very fast national audience of 393,000 viewers. 163K of those viewers were in the 1849 demographic. September the 2nd edition of AEW Rampage brought in 485,000 viewers with a 0.16 1849 demographic. This was their live go home episode before AEW All Out. August 26th episode of AEW Rampage brought in 431,000 viewers with a 0.48 in the 1849 demographic. August 19th episode edition of Rampage brought in a fast national number of 461,000 viewers with a 142 of those viewers in the 1849 demographic. The August 12th edition of AEW Rampage was taped, and they brought in a viewership of 528,000 with a 0.17 1849 demographic. The August 5th episode of Rampage brought a fast national audience of 431,000 viewers with a 179 6K of those in the coveted 1849 demographic. This was a live episode and not pre-recorded, as it is on most weeks. We'll have to see if AEW's B show can pull things up. They are certainly putting in enough work to build good characters, but they are also dealing with a difficult time slot. What is y'all's take on the AEW Rampage? Sound off in the comments. Now, going on to the next news, guys. Next AEW Tuesday afternoon news I have is on AEW Full Gear, and then the last AEW Tuesday afternoon news for today is on Tony Khan scrapping original creative plan for Ari Daivari. We're going to go over that right after I go over the news on AEW Full Gear. Now, AEW Full Gear is actually lost movie theater screenings to Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Now, this is kind of sad, even though I haven't watched the movie, I haven't seen it. It's almost time for AEW Full Gear, because November 19th will be here before we know it. Ladies and gentlemen, my November 19th, 2022 AEW Full Gear watch along has already been scheduled. So go check it out. Go give it a thumbs up. You can comment in the live chat anytime you want to. The live chats are always open. My AEW Dynamite watch along is scheduled as well. I got to schedule the Dynamite review, which I'll probably do that when I come back home from work. Now, this year's professional wrestling pay-per-view event appeared to be facing tough competition. AEW Full Gear is held every year around Veterans Day, and Marvel has the same plan for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, for this year. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, directed by Ryan Coogler and produced by Kevin Feige or whatever, and Nate Moore. Some of these names be confusing to me, man. Really. The movie will be released in theaters on November the 11th, 2022. This film will undoubtedly be a box office juggernaut as fans flock to the theaters so they could see how the franchise will proceed without Chadwick Boseman. According to recent reports, the film had an impact on AEW Full Gear's theater screening. Something they've done for a couple of years now. Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that Full Gear will be in fewer theaters than last time due to the big Marvel film. Says here, and I quote, "Yes, they are showing Full Gear in theaters, but they won't be in as many movie theaters as before because that's the weekend of Black Panther comes out. So that's where most of the people will be going to the movies that week. They will be in a few theaters, but not as many as last time." End quote. The world lost a great performer, friend, and humanitarian in August 2020. Sadly, Chadwick Boseman passed away from complications from colon cancer, leaving a significant void for his admirers across the world who saw him on the big screen as King T'Challa, ruler of Wakanda, in the heroic Black Panther. Everyone who loved him, both on and off the screen in real life, and as an actor, was shocked to learn of his demise. So, the cast and creative team on Marvel Studios' Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, were obviously more startled and devastated than others. Despite this, they were able to overcome all obstacles and managed to present another Black Panther film to the world. Let's see how the movie does without Boss Man. On the other hand, or Ballsy Man, should I say. But on the other hand, AEW is still plugged away as they try to hype Full Gear as the dust still settles from the drama caused by the AEW All Out Media Scrum. So, The card for Full Gear, we have Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Championship against MJF. We have the Acclaim defending their AEW Tag Team Championships against Strickland and Keith Lee, Swerving Our Glory. We got Toni Storm defending her interim AEW Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter, which I'm going for Jamie Hayter on this one. We got the finals of the AEW Eliminator Tournament for a shot at the AEW World Championship. And then we got Chris Jericho defending his Ring of Honor Championship against Danielson, Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. So what are you going to watch on the big screen, guys? Let me know in the live chat, please. And your last WWE Tuesday afternoon news I have is on Tony Khan. Yes, folks, it's on Tony Khan. Let me go ahead and find it for you guys here. Where is it? There it is. So apparently, there's news on Tony Khan and Ari Daivari. So Tony Khan scrapped original creative plans for Ari Daivari. The Trustbusters have been heavily pushed by Tony Khan, despite most fans' grievances with the group, somewhat. Despite all the pushback, Khan has been a staunch supporter of the stable. Tony entrusts Ari Daivari to spearhead the group when he brought Daivari to AEW full-time. Recently, Daivari spoke about how initial plans for his character were scrapped in favor of this new role. Daivari is the leader of the Trustbusters group, which consists of Slim J, Parker, Boudreaux, Sonny Kiss. I don't know why does AEW still have Sonny Kiss? Get rid of Sonny Kiss, please. Slim J and James K. The group debuted on AEW Dark before moving up to Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, and finally making it to AEW. Daivari recently appeared on the AEW Unrestricted podcast and discussed the early periods of his AEW tenure. When Daivari got his first opportunity with the company, it wasn't really a full-time thing. He appeared on AEW Dark multiple times, partnering with Clash, Invictus Clash, whatever his name is. Daivari, at the time, felt that the team was clicking. Says here, and I quote, "If some people remember, on a few episodes of AEW Dark, I was wrestling with another guy named Invictus Clash. Very good wrestler. He's a fellow Persian man, just like me. We kind of got put together randomly as a tag team, and we were doing a couple of darks together. It was going great." End quote. Daivari said that Khan wasn't really feeling him in Clash. Daivari said the day when he and Clash had finally gotten matching gear for the tag team, he noticed that he was randomly paired with Slim J. He goes on to say, but apparently Tony Khan wasn't really feeling for me, and I showed up one day and I found out that I'm tagging with a guy named Slim J. I said, okay, that's interesting. And that day, me and Clash actually had matching gear because we tagged a few times together. Finally went and got matching gear, like, all right, we're going to be a tag team. Let's do this for real. And I showed up and I said, Slim J, where have I heard that name before? And I was like, all right, whatever. Then he comes up to me. He's like, hey, I'm Slim. End quote. Daivari later spoke about Khan approaching him sometime later. It was there that he found himself in a conversation that would change the trajectory of his AEW career and ultimately led to a full-time spot in the company. He continues on to say in the last paragraph that Tony shows up later, and I kind of talked to him a little bit, and he just lays this whole idea on the line for me of the Trustbusters and Parker Boudreaux, and he has ideas for other members, which turned out to be Sonny Kiss and BSK, and it all just kind of happened one day. End quote. Daivari was in the 25th Man Golden Ticket Battle Royal for a shot at the AEW World Championship. Unfortunately, he was eliminated after getting hit by a super kick from Penta El Zero Miedo. We'll have to see what's next for the Trustbusters. They are apparently going to maintain a presence in AEW television. Do you dig Daivari leading the Trustbusters, or would you guys have liked to see him alone? Cash, let me know in the live chats. And that is going to do it for you, WWE and AEW. November the 8th, 2022, Tuesday afternoon news live stream number 2. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can add me on Snapchat as well. Thank you guys for joining the live chat, man. It's a pleasure seeing some people watching. Well, folks, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to get ready for work. I'm going to eat and walk to work. And I will see you guys in the live chat for AEW Dark tomorrow afternoon for an AEW Dark watch along. Peace and stay safe always. I'm getting the hell out of here.